For nearly 24 hours, Rumisa's attorneys and even the Turkish consulate couldn't get her anywhere. We went to the hospitals. We went everywhere. Meanwhile, ICE agents had secretly moved her across 3 states, secreting her to New England. And then finally, they disappeared her into a prison in Louisiana, 1,300 miles away from her community and from her lawyers. To be clear, for those who don't know, Rumisa has never been charged with a crime. This happened to her because she published an op-ed a year ago in the Tufts student newspaper. That's shameful. Bring her home. 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 So we at the ACLU, you know what we did? We sent in our lawyers. And we sent them on to report some good news here today. Just yesterday, last night, a federal judge in Boston denied the government's attempt to manipulate her case and move it down to Louisiana and granted our motion to keep the case here in New England where we can protect her and bring her home. 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 The ACLU will continue to fight to set Rumisa free and bring her home and to defend the constitutional rights of all people. And just remember this, defending democracy requires everyone, not just the lawyers and the elected officials, but every freedom-loving person to speak out against tyranny and injustice, like all of you are here today. Thank you for that. It's an all-hands-on-deck moment, and there's much to do. So sign up. Join the groups that are out here who organized us here today. Choose community over chaos. Don't agonize, organize, and don't give up. Show up like you have to, because courage is contagious. We have the strength in numbers, and it's time to flex. Join me again. Hands off. Our bodies. Hands off. Hands off. Our neighbors. Hands off. Our workers, hands off. Our democracy, hands off. Thank you. All right.
Community with the goals of improving the quality of life for indigenous people. We welcome Reggie.
God damn. Hi everyone, my name is Reggie Alkavich. I'm the Civic Engagement Coordinator at the North American Indian Center of Boston. I'm Canadian Inuk and Haitian. Standing beside me is our board president, John McPreet, Tunica Biloxi of Louisiana, and our executive director, Raquel Halsey, and our Haditha and Arikla Nation of North Dakota. Today I'm reading a statement from Rumisa's attorney. My name is Masa Kanakabi. I'm an immigration attorney representing Rumisa as a PhD student who is brutally and illegally ripped away from her community in Somerville by the Trump administration simply because she wrote an op-ed calling for the equal dignity and humanity of all people. Every time she tells me about how she cares about the safety and rights of children. Rumisa is passionate about peace, justice, and equality. That is why she dedicated her life to the well-being of youth and children. Right now, Palestinian children in Gaza are being killed every single day by the Israeli military. Thousands of children in Gaza will never walk again. Tens of thousands will never see their parents again. An entire generation of Palestinian children, or how many? Of Palestinian children are traumatized every day by this genocide. Call it what it is, a genocide. Children should be safe at home with their families, not buried under rubble. Rumisa is sitting in ICE detention right now. Thank you to that sign. Tea is in the harbor, all we need is ice. Because she spoke out for human rights in an op-ed. Rumisa did what we teach all people in America to do in the face of injustice. She spoke up.
She spoke up.
She spoke up. She used her right to free speech to advocate against human rights abuses. The Trump administration wants to censor and silence anyone who cares about equal rights of Palestinians. This is unconstitutional, it's immoral, and it's wrong. It threatens the safety of everyone in the United States. Today it's Rumisa and other students bravely speaking up for Palestinian rights. Tomorrow it could be anyone who speaks up for LGBTQIA2S rights, climate change, reproductive rights, or against this government. This has to stop now. As Americans, we need to all come together to stand up to the Trump administration's attacks on our freedom and our legal system. To the brave students, to our immigrant brothers, to the people of Palestine, we are with you, and we will continue to fight for all of our shared freedom and dignity. Thank you.
Hands off! Hands off! First they came for my mood. Does this mean anything? Political theater, performance of cruelty. Hands off our health care. Hands off our free speech. Hands off our civil rights. Protect queer, non-binary, trans youth. Trans pride, trans power. A disaster of idiocy. This is the moment that we're in, people. And we're here in this space together with different ideologies, different beliefs, other than a shared belief in freedom, a shared belief in democracy. We don't have to agree on each and every issue, but we've got to agree that democracy cannot be interfered with by billionaires. We've got to agree that democracy cannot be bought. And we've got to agree that there's still a little more room over there on my right to y'all's left. But we've also got to agree that when we've got good people fighting for us, we've got to celebrate those good people. When we've got good people who are trying to represent us, we've got to support and encourage those people. And so we're fortunate today to have another one of those good people, my sister in the struggle, your Congresswoman from Massachusetts District 7. Let's give it up for Ayanna Presley.
because like me, you are tired of these billionaire boys and their grubby little hands. Movement family, it is wonderful to be here with you. Thank you for being here. You could have been anywhere else today, but you chose to be here because you recognize that we are one human family and our freedoms and our destinies are tied. You are a beautiful sight to behold, and you affirm that the power of the people has always been greater than the people in power. And as my good sister, the Reverend Mariama White Hammond, reminds us, that has always been true. It was true in Seneca Falls, in Selma. It was true at Stonewall. And it is just as true today, and it is only fitting on this day, exactly 40 years ago, a coalition of Black liberation leaders, women's groups, student organizers, and unions came together for a national day of protest. They were calling for an end to South Africa's system of apartheid. A system that disappeared political dissidents, suppressed free speech, and divided a nation. Sound familiar? The same system that made millions for a South African segregationist by the name of Elon Musk. Oh yeah, he gets it honest. The same system that produced the world's richest white supremacist, a Nazi Nepo baby, Elon Musk. You see, history has a way of repeating itself. And that's why we need to take heed to what the past has taught us. That opposition outworked, outorganized, and outlasted those in power until the apartheid regime came crashing down. And that's why we're all here today, to resist and to reject the cruel and dark vision that Donald Trump has for this country, that he has for our country. You know, the reason Donald Trump and his sycophants have a campaign against being woke, the reason they're anti-woke is because they want you to stay asleep. They want you to be ignorant. They want you to be indifferent. They want you to be inactive. But you're all here because we are going to match their energy. This is an unprecedented moment, a constitutional crisis that we will meet with unprecedented organizing, mobilizing, agitating. This is our chapter of the civil rights movement, which we are still very much in. Look around. The great Coretta Scott King reminds us that freedom is never really won. We must earn it and win it in every generation. And this is our time. This is our time because there will always be an Elon Musk. This is our time because there will always be a Jeff Bezos. This is our time because there will always be a Donald Trump who will try to enrich themselves at the cost of our freedom and our humanity. So collectively we resist and we reject and we say hands off. Hands off our bodies. Hands off our Medicaid. Hands off our Social Security. Hands off our Constitution. Hands off our democracy. Hands off our Black history books, libraries, museums. Hands off our cancer research. Hands off our immigrant neighbors. Hands off our disabled siblings. Hands off the LGBTQ community. You're all here to say hands off because, well, you give a damn. You give a damn about your neighbor. You give a damn about this country. You give a damn about our democracy. And you're here to match the energy and to meet the moment, to summon the same stamina that my brother colleague, Senator Booker, did. So I have courage to summon the spirits that you summon the courage of this movement that I am so proud to be an ally of. That we center the dignity and the humanity of all people. We welcome all voices, especially when they're dissenting, because the people here believe in free speech. But I need you all to summon the stamina, the courage, and the spirits of the maverick moms in the 1960s from East Boston. I need you to summon the stamina, the courage, and the spirit of Mel King and the activists in the 1960s at Tent City in the South End. I need you to summon the stamina, the courage, and the spirit of Dr. King on April 22nd when 20,000 people assembled on the Boston Common for the first civil rights march in the Northeast. I need you to summon the courage, the spirit, and the stamina of Chinatown activists for Parcel C in the 1970s against environmental injustice. I need you to summon the stamina, the spirit, and the courage of those activists in the 1970s of Jamaica Plain and Roxbury to stop the highway and wake up the earth. This is the tradition that you are all a part of. You are freedom fighters. You are democracy defenders. You are patriots. So when you go home today, roll up your sleeves and ask yourself, what's next? Because that is how we win this, and I'll close with the words of a movement sister who recently transitioned, the great Cecile Richards of Planned Parenthood. While she was in the midst of her cancer battle, she was still fighting. And people asked, Cecile, what are you doing here? You win the fight of your life. And she countered, because one day the question will be asked, when everything was at stake for the country, what did you do? And the only acceptable answer will be, everything that I could. I love you, movement family.
Let's give it up for Congresswoman Ayanna Pressley. Hands off our people. Hands off reproductive freedom. Hands off Gaza. Hands off trans bodies. Hands off democracy. You know, the reality is that there's some real pain that we're feeling in this community. Where are my educators at? Schools are under attack. Where are my scientists at? Science is under attack. Where are my social workers at? Where are my community organizers at? Where are my people who stay home and take care of their kids at? All of this and all of our experiences are under attack, and we cannot sit in silence. And we cannot let this government control us because we have the power. And if they can't hear it, we'll say it loud. Control us. We have the power. If they can't hear it, we'll say it louder. They can't control us. We have the power. If they can't hear it, we'll say it louder. They can't control us. We have the power. If us, we'll say it louder. So loud it resonates all the way down to Washington, D.C., where our next speaker showed up in front of Congress and gave them what for? They wanted to find out what was going on in Boston, and so she went down there and told them what's going on in Boston. Brothers and sisters, give it up, city of Boston, Michelle Wu.
Hello, Boston! Welcome to the People's Plaza. I want to thank you all for being here. I want to thank the organizers of this event. Thank you to the ACLU, the League of Women Voters, Planned Parenthood Action Fund, Indivisible, and more than 2